Hi everyone, welcome back to Sustainable Success, the ethical sourcing channel, so to speak. Today I'm probably going to go a little bit off script. I think for the last couple of seasons I've been focusing more on the technical side of the business. But today I'm just going to go off script and I'm probably going to focus more on something a little bit more personal to me, something that happened when I first started my business and what's probably continued to show up during the time of me having my business. And I don't know, it might connect with some of you. And we're talking about like the first steps, and that's more important than having a perfect plan. Now, people think just starting the business, that's just the first part of it. And every level you get to, you have to think of it as 1 to 10. Yeah, so your first level is 1 through to 10. And then once you get to 10, once you get to the next level, you start at number 1 again. And it's consistently that every level that you level up through your business. That is just that is things go. I've been at those moments where I thought I've waited and I've got to wait for the money. I've got to wait for the right contracts. I've got to wait for that support. And even told myself, when somebody supports me, then I'll move. But what I realized, and what I'm starting to realize is old programming, old speaking, an old narrative that I've had, or an old story that I've had to generate to keep me where I am. And today what I want to do is really break that down for you to see what that looks like. Because today I think I was watching something and I've seen, how the whole loads of people was getting up and praying and really supporting these people in their next journey. And I thought to myself, when I left for China, I didn't have one person to even pray over me going out there. Do you get me? So I could have ended up there. And what you realize is once you get to that part and get to that moment of your life, it's like, actually, or somebody does say, I'm proud of you or whatever. Actually, you don't really need that. You don't really need 1,000 people to support you. You don't even need one person to support you. Yeah, and yes, it does hurt when you see that other people get praise, or somebody sitting down saying somebody that done less than you has done so amazing, but the next person can't see how amazing you've done. Yes, that all does hurt. But what I want to break down today is what it actually is. So many, in my experience, through my lens, through my journey, right? So many entrepreneurs, maybe you have as well. What we do is tend to get stuck in this waiting process. So I'll start when I have the money. I'll start when I have the right team, or I'll start when the time is right. Or it could be like, if I had support of all those people, I would be a lot further than what I am. You are where you are because of your thought process. And that is the truth, right? Perfect time never comes. And the worst thing, eating becomes a habit. So I did a little bit of personal development. I wouldn't say like it's a great deal. And I read a little bit into Bob Proctor. I did one of his programs and he talks a lot about this paradigm shift. And my very limited understanding of that is that a paradigm is your thought process or how you think. And that thought process keeps you where you are. Now, when you get up and you decide, when I got up and I decided that I wanted to build a business, I didn't realize that I had certain old programmings. And those old programs allegedly are meant to be there to keep you safe. But what these programs actually do is keep you stuck at where you are. So the way, and I'll talk about it a little bit more, but the way that I had to determine those things is realize this is my vision, this is where I want to go, and everything that's not in alignment with that is an enemy. Yeah. So when I need to go and do that prospect and I don't want to do it, that is the old programming that's keeping me where I am. When it's like, another thing is, I don't want to do a podcast today, or I don't feel like doing it, then that is another old programming to keep me at my current level. So it's that kind of thing. I'll come back to when I started my sourcing business in China. I didn't even have everything lined up. I didn't have any investors. I didn't even understand fully systems. But what I did is take action anyway, right? I wasn't bothered about what people thought of me. I realized the people that I was trying to impress was not even my target audience. They weren't giving me any money. They weren't paying my bills. So I had to really focus on who is my target market and who am I going after. And those are the people's opinions that actually do matter. Yeah, not the people that are not ever going to buy off you anyway. And just wasting your time, so to speak. Those are the people that you need to get into the programming. So even with this podcast, I don't wait for the perfect studio or the perfect mic. I just started because clarity only comes after you take those first steps, not before. But here's where it gets real for me. I had this thought pattern that I needed something or someone to support me first. And I look around again, as I said before, that I would see other people getting the help, see other people getting the support. And that's why they're moving faster. And I think even today now, while I sit here, I'm actually realizing even when people say or do something supportive, it doesn't change anything, because the real issue isn't the support. The issue is my paradigm, the way that I'm thinking, the way that I'm doing things. So my mind was creating these excuses for me to stay safe. And I had to treat those thoughts like they were the enemy, because they were helping me build the future. If they weren't helping me build the future that I wanted, they were only helping me keep stuck in a victim mentality. And now when I think of victim, I think of demonic. So you have to really get strong with what you're associating with. Yeah. If you're looking at something and you really admire it, what is the association? Right. And you want to disassociate with that. So what I do, I told myself that those thoughts are not my audience, and they don't pay my bills, and they don't build my vision. My real audience are the people that I want to serve. They don't care if it's messy, and they just need me to show up. So I gave myself permission to be messy. What if I was messy? Yeah. Until it becomes perfect. I started asking myself questions where curiosity, not just I am perfect. What if I was perfect? What if I did have the amount of clients that I wanted to have? What if I only focused on the people that cared about me? Or what if I only focused on my target audience and I didn't care about people no matter what? And things have slowly starting to shift. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen in 30 days, 20 days, 7 days, but over years and years and years of really like getting hold of my thought process and the things that matter to me, it's just taken time and work, and things have slowly began have changed. So again, anything that's not in alignment with my vision, I label it as the enemy, right? Something that I discuss, something that is not something that I would want to be in alignment with anyone. And then I keep it that way because it's protecting my energy and it's focused to the part in building my life and the life that I want to build. Again, like if something doesn't feel right, it normally isn't right. Yeah, that's what you have, your gut intuition. And then you look at, okay, is this person pushing me to where I want to be, or is they pulling me away from the person that I want to be? Now, if the person is doing that, that's not somebody that you want to have in your life. And it's not because you're being a horrible person. It's because that person is stopping you from where you need to be going. So again, I've got to reinforce this. Anything that's not in alignment with your vision, label it as something. So let me share with you some steps. That's if you're feeling stuck and you're in this waiting game. Act against your paradigm. So do something today that your old program says you can't do, and send that proposal in, publish that post, make that telephone call, do that podcast, whatever your paradigm is telling you not to do, do it. And speak the new beliefs out loud if so. I don't wait for the perfect time. My clarity grows with action. I don't just think it, I say it, I do it, turn it into a question. What if? Yeah. So you're not saying I am this person. You're saying, what if I was this person? What actions would a person like that take? And no matter what, it's going to work out for me. Yeah. Or if I was this person, and everything always did work out for me, no matter what. So, just curious, asking your brain, asking yourself questions and challenging those old beliefs. So when something comes up that's starting to trigger you, is that trigger to try to keep you where you are because you're at the foot of a breakthrough, or is it just trying to trigger it, or it's trying to hold you back? Celebrate the steps, not the outcome. So at the end of the day, write down in your notebook, don't wait until the big success. So celebrate that you've moved and that you've built some new momentum. I have that in my book. Where I look at the end of the day, what my intentions are for tomorrow, what I'm happy about, what I achieved today. And again, slowly getting into that routine. Now, a routine can take years to develop. So you can start with saying, for one day, I want to be like this. So once you get to one day of being like that, then you give yourself 2 days. Let me give myself 2 days where I'm consistently doing this. Yeah. And then not for three, you go, and then you build up, right? Okay. So after the second day, you say to yourself, all right, then I'm going to try 2 more days until you're up to a week, until you're up to a year, or until you get to where you need to be. So, as I wrap up today, let me leave you with the first step matters more than perfection. Yeah. The paradigm will whisper to you, wait, play safe, don't be foolish. Uh, but that's just old programming. Yeah. Your power comes from moving away. Messy actions beat no actions every single time. Gonna have to cut that out. No, she's not naughty. It's just that, right. Okay, let me finish this little bit. I have to edit that out. So I'm not saying this to preach at you. I'm saying it because I've lived it and I've shared my experience that's helped just one person to take the next step. Then this episode, I've done my job. So thank you for listening. If it's resonated with you, then share it with someone who's stuck and waiting. And remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to move. And then finish.